Hello, 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 and welcome. I'm so excited to spend this time with you. I'm so honored that you are going to spend some of your precious time with me. Thank you so much for trusting me and being interested in your character development to join me on this journey. I'm going to take you through a presentation. I love Canva, I love slide decks about powerful habits, creating yourself one day at a time. You guys, my name is Mia, and I am just an everyday woman with a huge heart for service and a massive gift to help you see and release your potential, your character development, who you really are. I will show you who you really are and sustainably holistically help you and lovingly help you bring her to life and really become her, embody that. So yes, I'm so honored to meet with you today and talk to you about habits, which are really choices either towards what you want or not, which entails self-love, self-observation, no judgment, and lots of practice and failure and emotions until we really start to churn this big, beautiful engine into something more aligned and true for you. If you're new to Powerful Inc., yes, you can just pronounce it Powerful Inc. The play in words is in how it's written and the vibe is in there, but we just say Powerful Inc. This is the place for the everyday woman who wants to feel more joy, more peace, more purpose, and momentum in her life, business, family, career, whatever may be offered. To me, this just means living more present and intentional, living a bit more organized so that you can have a map to guide you and stay accountable to living into what you say you want versus just dreaming about it, right? One day, one day, one day, too much right now. Get a little organized and work the plan, the spacious, delicious, flexible plan. How? By choosing what and how you show up every day, hence habits. So let's get going on how habits can shape your dream life into your real life. Isn't that clever? I love it. And I love you. Here's what we're going to cover. What are habits? The impact of habits, shifting from status quo into future self, into, more aligned and like just everyday self, really. And then an implementation activity, because don't just sit here and watch and be entertained. Put it to work, do the work. Like, are you really going to put yoga with Adrian on the TV and then not do the yoga? No judgment, but like, let's do the thing, shall we? Lovely. So, what are habits exactly? Let's just kind of lay some foundations here. A habit is a routine of behavior that's repeated regularly and tends to occur subconsciously. Automated train of thought, automated pattern of action or reaction. Okay. You do without thinking about the doing. Doing and being on autopilot. How much more powerful would it be to have intentional, on purpose habits on autopilot? Oof. So, right? A ritual or behavior that is performed automatically and repeatedly. We may speculate that Tony Robbins' habits, Oprah's habits, and oh, darling Princess Diana's habits, among many, many others, were better on the daily than ours. But we can create our own up level by practicing awareness around why and what we are choosing, and then making a new choice around that, and then allowing that new choice more stage time to start to take over. Boom. Habits are something you do. Brush your teeth. Habits are also who you are being, a woman, a person who cares about their hygiene and their mouth health and taking care of themselves and enjoying, I don't know, the fresh, minty feel of having brushed your teeth. So, this, the trivial things are the building blocks for the big things that are our character. So, what kind of person are you? Someone who follows through on what you say you're going to do? Are you a person of your word, of integrity, and of self accountability? Do you trust yourself to actually create, which for me and maybe for you really means to take that uncomfortable responsibility of actually going after and then having what you say you want. I want an online coaching business. That comes with responsibility. That comes with more logistics. That comes with more energy and more scheduling and time, right? So, oh, it looks dreamy, but are you actually willing to also continue to do the work to maintain it? I want to be 50 pounds lighter and be able to like run up the stairs without being out of breath. But are you willing to first pant and sweat going up the stairs once? Ah, get so fired up about this, you guys. So, here, habits are what you do because of who you are being. So, let's reverse engineer from looking back at the end of our life, looking back as to who we really were and building that self trust and that self confidence of being a woman, being a person who follows through on what they say they want to do, to be, to have, etc. Okay. Habits work like this beautiful, simple little diagram. The automated response caused by an external trigger, resulting in a satisfied feeling. I'm hungry. I'm going to eat chips. Now I'm full. Even, oh, wait, Mia, that doesn't make sense. Even if the loop is not actually helpful or aligned. I'm tired. I'm going to scroll my phone. I'm going to watch TV. I'm just going to go to bed. But did that serve your exercise, your hygiene, your quality time, your soul filling time, your actual peace of self, of mind, of spirit? Did it? Sometimes it does. Okay. It's not like right or wrong. It's observing what we're doing and whether it actually leads us towards the bigger picture, that reverse engineer, bigger life picture of what we want to have. Okay. So, this is part of our natural human state because as kids, we would whine or complain or cry to get something effective, but eventually not like very emotionally restorative or helpful, right? We want to evolve out of that. But I want this to say that at whatever age you are starting a habit loop from way back then, okay? From your baby time, right? We used to just cry to get milk, attention, or a clean diaper. And think about where we still behave that way, even though we're proper grown-ups for the most part. I don't really ever properly grow up. I'm still super ridiculous. But I manage my emotions far more aware and personally responsible, right? Versus reacting and victimizing. I'm not a baby anymore with a poopy diaper. I'm a grown woman. But the compounding effect over years and years of that is what we are working within. So we just want to recognize that and give it space because this softness is where we're going to allow to get in there and dig around and shift the things because it's going to be hard at first. Okay. This longevity has been in our subconscious forever. We want to get above it. So, yes, give yourself grace to delve in without judgment. Get curious and then let's work to expand those automations. Habits in my framework are related to, voila, as per the slide deck here, related to these bigger core categories. Okay, that's what this really wants to represent. It's not um, a list of things to do, it's a list of actions that we take because they're aligned to these core categories. Wealth, relationships, fun, and adventure, 100%. I have a darling friend has not booked a trip in over a year, not even like a camping or a one night little getaway, right? It's your personal development. It's your rest. It's your emotional regulation. It's your health, your body, your spirituality. It's all the things on this list. It can be more. It's the framework is really thinking around this wheel of life. If you know that counseling coaching exercise, if not, Google it. There's so many beautiful ones. And it's part of the practice that we integrate into our daily habits. We have a higher driving principle, lighthouse that guides the actions underneath. And in the powerful habits for the everyday woman, this is what we do. We build these categories and then the actions that align to nurturing them to enrich our lives wholly, not just in any one area. And we do a few areas at a time. We're not going to do everything all at once. All right. Types of habits, right? I mentioned doing habits, being habits. So there's difference between your internal leadership and your outward actions. So your internal leadership is your being, your outward action is your doing. We want to lead the doing from that internal leadership. That is, again, are we actually being a woman who does the things that lead her to what she says she wants? Are you going to be the woman who, doesn't go on her phone immediately in the morning? Are you going to be the woman who does take time to read a book because it brings you so much joy and peace? Are you going to be the woman who can leave the laundry on the bed? You guys, the pile on my bed right now is a bag. And you know what's been happening in life lately? It's on the bed, it goes to the floor. It goes back to the bed, it goes back to the floor. The house is still standing. I'm still wearing clean clothes. I'm not going to fuss or pressure over it. I'll get to it when I get to it. It's a release, right? Because, for example, recording this video right now is way more important than folding that laundry because I'm a woman who bees the coach for you, the co-creator with you in order for us to really enjoy our lives. Okay. So let's get to it. Keep getting to it because if not, I'll just be on here forever and I don't want this to be super long for you. Try to keep it under 30 minutes so that we can consume it, percolate, and go. Okay. Ooh, so fun. I put effects on that one. Examples of doing habits, external actions, right? So we might think that some of these are being, but like your good work ethic, that is part of you being a diligent steward, but that is something that you do. And a good work ethic then as part of your character would apply to everything. How you do your laundry, how you do your dishes, how you drive, how you're reliable, those sorts of things. So they tie into a higher element of being, okay? Getting up early because you're a woman, a person who wants to have quiet, reflective time in the morning, who wants to get the workout done right away, who maybe that's when you fold the laundry because nobody's going to interrupt you at 5 a.m., right? God willing. So, and also, there's good and bad things in all of it. There's good and bad things in all of it. We're not judging, we're observing here. It's an endless list. And I just want to, again, separate intangible, our everyday examples of doing and being. So if you are so inclined, I didn't mention to have pen and paper at the ready, but grab some, scraps, whatever. Take a minute, less than a minute. What comes up? What are some of the doing habits that you do, but maybe that you do because you should versus because you really want and that's where you feel you need to nurture right now? Take a second. I'll have a sip of water here. Okay. Okay. This is where we want to start bringing it, making it real. It's not just between us and these screens and watching this. We're actually making it real and taking it into our everyday life. Okay, so healthy habits, reading, writing, meditation, daily exercise, eating healthy, right? Good stuff. When you think of habits, what do you think of what you're doing now? What are you doing now that you would consider a healthy or an unhealthy habit? Okay, write it down. Unhealthy habits, overeating or like eating, junk food. Sometimes I eat candy for breakfast, but because it brings me joy, because I'm an adult and I can choose that if I want to. And I'm not going to judge myself for it because I eat really healthy. I have a great diet. I'm great in the kitchen. I don't go and eat out a lot. So if I want to eat candy sometimes, fine, but I'm doing it because it's fun, not because I'm like coping with an emotional pain or I'm stressed out or I'm on my period, right? I'm doing it because I think it's funny and fun, and sometimes it's just a little naughty, and I enjoy that. Okay, so healthy habits, unhealthy habits. The difference is the driving factor behind it. Now, the real meat and potatoes, this is where the work starts to begin, okay? Is the examples of being. So if we think of habits and how we be, we're choosing our internal frequency, our emotions and beliefs each day, choosing how to feel. How do you feel today, darling? How do you feel? And why? Why is that the default feeling in what's going on in life right now? The internal being habits will start to shift that into feeling juicy, fun, spacious, motivated, healthy, productive, which is like a non pressurized, non forced, non hustle, but getting the very few key things. This is my list for today, actually recording this. And on here, there are really, oh, sorry, it's on this side. The other side was other notes. There are really only about 2 or 3 things that are really do or die on here today in order to be. Recording this video is definitely one of them, which is why I'm doing it first before all this other stuff. Okay. This aligns with my integrity. It aligns with my follow through. It aligns with my honesty and my dependability to be the coach that I say I am for my beautiful women, people who come to me. It's the strategy behind why I'm doing something. It's the action tied to a deeper place that is very real of meaning and purpose for me, right? It's value aligned. It's full of my life vision. It is not about instant gratification. Okay. I'm working out because it's good for my body. Because when I'm a grandma, I want to be able to run after those grandkids. I want to be able to squat down and look at them face level like I do with my daughter now. I want to be able to pick them up and swirl them around. I want this vessel to function until my spirit is ready to leave my body, right? That's why I be. That's why I pound out a very easy workout as soon as I wake up most mornings. Okay. So when you're 80, when you're 90, you want to still be driven from the being components, right? Not the doings. They're not going to matter as much as time changes, but the being is what stays with you. That's the character development. Okay. So the impact of habits, right? We've laid some foundation as to the differences in what they are. The impact of them, I think you can see, is already compounding, helps you live a free, conscious, fulfilled life. Your impulses will not react. It's going to be, here's how I'm leading myself because I'm a woman, a person who, A, B, C. Okay. And these habits, this momentum will start to automate and build and compound and take over and become. And that is the beautiful practice of pushing through that initial discomfort, getting that momentum going. Okay. And you will just feel so much more spacious, and it will really make who you are. Hang on a sec, the dog. Okay. Freeing your mind from deciding the list, how many lists, how many things, how much doing, freeing your mind from that feels good. That's leadership. That is a healthy habit routine. Every action you take is a choice of who you want to be and who you are now, right? Your habits shape your identity. Your identity shapes your habits. You see how I'm bringing this really into life here? Let's pause. Let's close our eyes. Breathe in to the count of 2. Out, 3, 4. Again, breathe in. 1, 2. Breathe out. 3, 4. Last one. Really slow down. Breathe in. 1, 2. Stretch. Open. Breathe out. 3, 4. Expand the body. Think about the word habits. How does it feel in your body? Do you feel tight, excited, overwhelmed? What's reacting? Judgment, shame, pressure, motivation? Look at what this means. What drew you here? What is enticing about the idea of building a healthy, spiritually aligned, reverse life engineered habit practice? The automated showing up daily, plainly, to really create a life that you're going to love no matter what's happening. It's peaceful empowerment is how I've coined it. And you can read about that on my homepage at powherfull.com. It's a whole training in of itself, but that feeling of really being a person, a woman who's living in her real life. Okay. And let's now start to think about paying attention to what we're actually doing every day. Where are we building consistency? Where are we adding the pieces of the puzzle to achieve those long-term goals and make those meaningful life changes, but make them like actually integrate in? Let our habits shape our attitudes, our actions, our decision making. Okay, take a sec here. What do habits mean to you? How much conscious attention are you actually giving them? Okay. Here, I'm going to read these quotes to you to absorb what's here. Habits are not about performance. It's about longevity. It's about mastery. It's about self leadership. It's about acting based on strategy, but like a self strategy, not a business school or, some other thing. It's really about knowing why and how important it is to do the thing because of who you're being. Small disciplines repeated with consistency every day lead to great achievements gained slowly over time. John C. Maxwell. A beautiful way of paraphrasing what I feel I just said. Hopefully, we're all on the same page here. We become what we want to be by consistently being what we want to become each day, right? Richard G. Scott. Why are we doing the thing? Who is being? We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit, I'll add, of mastery. No pressure, no quota, no hustle. A continuous desire to really be true to yourself. So, my favorite metaphor about mastery, you can't create mastery in just one time. Just like you cannot lose 25 pounds by going to the gym once. But if you can, please let me know. I actually enjoy sweating. I actually enjoy using my body. I actually enjoy showing up to work my habits routine every day because it anchors me in and it builds that new pattern of confidence and follow through for myself. And that is the freedom. That is the character development, you guys. Okay, so if we begin our habits from a state of being, we'll most likely find that the doing habits also shift. Dr. Joe Dispenza has created a massive business on the basis of breaking the habit of being yourself. But I'm going to spin it to you another way. Who we are yeah, is a small indication of who more we can be. Case in point, have you ever done a burpee or a plank? Do you remember your first one? Was it hard? Changing is work. We resist work. We must condition ourselves, soften and surrender into the discomfort in order to stay open to the expansion. If you're going to go for a run, if you're going to do a push up, you're going to exert yourself and not be sexy, right? Grunt, sweat, maybe fart as it's happening because your body's straining. This is where we want to stay open. This is why habits is a journey. I am starting year 2 of daily habits practice, and there have been flops, my friends. Oh, there have been flops. It's not about scoring a perfect metric. It's about building mastery and fine tuning and paying attention to different areas. And then looking at the data to see if I'm actually doing, being as I say, or am I thinking I am and I'm kind of lying to myself. So you hold grace as you continue to master this. And if you are a people pleaser or a type A controller, this will be very uncomfortable. But you know what? You're not being held hostage and you're safe in our cushy silver spoon life. So I think that I would prefer that discomfort over being stranded in a desert with no food or clothing or shelter, or a number of other extreme awful examples that I like to juxtaposition so that we can kind of shake ourselves out of it. Like, we are beautiful, greatly, living abundantly. Let's already from there rise further to be of service to others. Because when we practice good habits and show up really being people of integrity, it's going to serve the world and feed that ripple effect, which is good for everybody. Okay. I've said everything I want to say there. Really on a roll here. Why do habits matter? This is one of my favorite commercial jingles. I write commercial jingles, you guys. The choices we make plus the actions we take equal the puzzle pieces of what we create. So, what do you want versus what are you willing to be and do to have that, right? I talked about this at the beginning. You say you want success, but then are you going to follow through on the responsibility that comes with it? Success being whatever it is in your career, your home life, your online business, in person business, whatever it is. It's building yourself into eh, eh, being more of who you are, which then requires a bit more of you as you up level. Every up level, right, is equivalent to doing more reps at the gym, or changing your eating habits, like desugaring, getting yourself off sugar. A slow weaning off is uncomfortable at first until the balance starts to shift. Okay. So, if success is time and money, then what habits do you need to execute to achieve it? Work harder, work more, or be content and ambitious. Thank you, John Maxwell, for that gorgeous quote that is like my life. By working enough because you're happy and full and you want to enjoy more than just work now. You want a balanced life now as you create more of it. Doing this now will prevent a further unprogramming later. So there's a lot out there for the hustle, healing, and the overworked, overstimulated recovery, and the nervous system relaxation. But if we start melding that, layering in, I like to say, all of that together now, then we're not going to get to that point. And if we are to that point, the inertia to shift is a little bit harder, of course, right? Because it's so much more ingrained. We want to recognize these things so we can give grace to allow ourselves to work through them from a different way than we've been doing it. So let's do a little bit of compare and contrast here. We're climbing into the final quarter here. Let's start with the the stereotypical overwhelmed, overworked, distracted corporate employee leader, the burnout road. Okay. Being habits, stressed, striving. I'm not a priority. I'm emotionally strained and maxed. I'm not present. I'm not kind all the time. I'm chasing, chasing, chasing. It's a survival mode. It's a hyperactivated nervous system survival mode. So we're working all the time. We're eating at the desk. We're like, blah, 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 get this done. Where are you? Hurry up. Get out the door. Sit, sit, sit. Work, work, work. More, more, more. Okay. Just as an example, an exaggerated example. Versus, I'm peaceful. I'm calm. I'm spiritually empowered. I love the Lord, and man, without him, all of this would just was like it was before for me. It's completely changed my spiritual imprint. I'm spiritually empowered. I'm connected to more. I'm organized and patient. This list will get done as it gets done. The important things for today are happening now. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for what I have right now. Electricity, the house to myself, the dog no longer barking at the door, the technology to be recording this, coffee, food, space of time. I'm having fun. I'm boundaries on my working hours. I'm showing up for this, then I'm moving on to other things. I'm spending time with family and friends. I'm connecting to relationships. I'm meeting a friend for lunch, and then I'm picking up my daughter and her friend for a little after school play. Exercise in some forms. I'm going to walk my adorable dog after this and like from the enjoyment that it's brought me. Reading for pleasure. You guys, I'm back into books. I'm on my fourth or fifth book in a month. It's nighttime reading, so it fits into my being schedule, if you will. And like two books have really been like, oh, so delicious. I just can't get enough. And it's feeding me. And I'm still getting everything done. I'm not getting everything done. I'm getting the things that matter most to the life that I want by aligning my habits. You see how this works? And it's becoming automated. Reading at bedtime was on the habits list at the start of 2024. It has become so ingrained that it is no longer on there, right? That's the automation. That's the power and transformation of the habits, is how they hold you through until it is. So how do we do all this? It all sounds great and looks good on paper, but like I have bills to pay and I have kids and I have this and I have that and I mentioned we're into 2025. Started the start of 2024, 365 plus days ago. So how are you going to shift? Starting with a decision to change. You're here now. This drew you in. You entered habits. Ooh, that sounds good. Ooh, your talk was good. What else? What else is in there? I'm curious. Starts with that decision. Then make room for that decision. Clear off a little bit of space. Take out a page. I want my habits to be based on leisure, wealth, and health. Okay, great. What are some states of being? And then what are some actions that align with that? Break the loop. Allow yourself to take time. Carry the piece of paper around, perhaps, so you have a reference point to check in with yourself. And above all that, why? Why, when I'm 80 or 90, is this going to be something that matters? That is your character development. That's our journey in life. So get comfortable with the discomfort, because churning that rusty wheel at first is going to not feel great, but this is powerful, you guys. We are in such safe spaces, as I mentioned, to push through this discomfort, okay? And we have the beautiful gift of free will. Please join me in being a good steward of your free will. If you have poor physical health, what is within your capacity to shift that? Take personal responsibility and use your free will to move through that. Allow the discomfort to soften. Like we're trying to crank a rusty old wheel. We're beating on it. We're squirting WD-40. We're chiseling away at the rust. And then click, it goes. and then it goes, and then a full crank, and then chugga, 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 chugga. And then we can move on to another and add. This is the exercise of building the habits over time. Example, me and exercising. Oh my God, I have so many stories. I love my body. I love working out. I'm just lazy. Okay, I once bought a gym membership for a whole year and never used it. So yeah, didn't get the results. Was I a woman who was being? No, I was a woman who was wasting money. I was a woman who was cheating herself by not following through on that action. Now, I started with this great fitness app. It's called 30-Day Fitness. Starts you off small, I blast through. I don't do the 30-second breaks in between, under 10 minutes. So I wake up, I do the workout, then I sit down to journal. Because what was happening was I wouldn't work out and then it would chase me all day, and that was driving me nuts. And my body was getting cranky at all the sitting and the not exercising, because I have an athletic body, beautiful muscles, great. Like I'm surprisingly still in good shape for someone who hasn't worked out in like several years. But now I'm craving it. And now, because I've been doing the 30-Day Fitness, it builds me up one day at a time. And the workouts have doubled in time, even without the rest breaks. It's like 17 minutes. And after having been sick, I was like, oh, gotta get back to it. Well, there's only one way to do it, and that's to do it because I want the result. I want the result. And I'm up to these 17 minutes in under 12 days of doing it. Actually, let me very much confirm that for you, because I started really around January 6th, and it's January 24. And let's just be real honest here. I'm on day 13. Okay. There's all my check marks. It's not always consecutive days. But already I've built that momentum and I've built that automated pilot, and my body's now shifting. Yeah. Let's do the workout. Okay. So this is what happens with the different choices, the different states of being that lead us. Okay. Said this a gazillion times. So let's pop through, do the work, because all the results I just talked about: happier, more energy, simple, less stress, more enjoyment, trained consistency. What great words are those? Trained consistency. I love it. So let's bring it in. Take it home. I've got 3 slides left. Implementation. Was this clear? The first bullet here, was this clear throughout my conversation with you? Be willing to suck at first. Be willing to be uncomfortable at first, ongoing. Be accountable to yourself. That tracking system actually shows you if you are following through on those things. Full transparency, sales and marketing for me with my coaching business are always the lacking ones because I'm timid. Okay. But now I can see, and it's like, I want more results. These are the things I need to focus on. I might think about them. I might be having lengthy conversations and imaginations in my mind, but I need to be doing them because I'm a woman who meets with you one-on-one to see if we have the chemistry, to see if we can meet each other's needs in going through powerful habits for the everyday woman, or one-on-one coaching, or startup school, or whatever. Okay. To see, to be that. And if I am not tracking that, then I'm less accountable because I can lie and deceive myself. Oh, well, I did a post, so like I must be doing sales and marketing. Okay, do you see what I mean? Releasing the judgment and the shame. I'm a people pleaser. I want to be validated. I want to be seen. I want results, but they're not happening. I'm not going to judge any of it. I'm going to look at what I'm doing, and I'm going to continue to work it to be the woman who brings in those results. That's all there is to it. It's data, it's neutral, and it allows me an empowered choice to continuously redirect my free will. Okay, so establishing the foundation first. And with this, you get a selection of habit tracking sheets to go with. So pick a template, pick all the templates. I'm using all the templates because it's not about a perfect this and a perfect that and a secret sauce recipe. It's just about the real raw life motion and just finding your flow in it. And I've got all these tracking sheets. They're all different. We're all different. Find one that works for you. Go with it. Again, try multiple, whatever. But you're going to focus on a few core categories at the onset. So you can break it up into category like sales, health, leisure, or morning, midday, evening. I really like the daytime time block because I have a job and it flows along with my natural daily schedule. So choose amongst that and then pick the few categories. You can do the life wheel exercise. I'll include one for you. And then see what areas you want to start with. Okay? How does it fit into the long life vision? When I'm 90, I want to look back and boop, 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 3 to 5 bullets. How will I stay accountable? Well, you could join the Powerful Habits for the Everyday Woman. You could come and just talk to me. Hello, I'm super fun, and so are you, and we would have a blast. In a Facebook group, share it with somebody, have a buddy that you do it with, send the video to them and share the habit sheets with them, or just be looking at yourself. Ironic that it's not my habit sheet in front of you as I'm doing this. But that is your accountability guide too, right? Like these are the things that I said mattered and where am I following through on them? And then just start moving into action. Less thinking. We think too much. We're women on top of it. We think too much. Our brains. Just think about it and then do it. Think about it and do it. Because otherwise you're that person driving down the road with the blinker. I'm going to turn. I'm turning. I haven't turned yet. Still thinking about it. Think about it in terms of the alignment and then take action. Okay. As we go, mastery takes time. Even if you miss a few days, or you forget for a week, or you keep changing them weekly. I don't care. I don't want you to care. I want you to practice it regularly until it starts to take momentum. In fact, I had a bit of a revelation today that, maybe the exercising doesn't have to be a Monday to Friday. It can be a 4 or 5 time a week. And then I set it up weekly and then I can tick 5 times a week. And then I'll have more space for notes on there. I did it on Monday before work. I did it at lunchtime. I, did it here, there. That is just staying in it without being too structured that it's only going to work with this exact specific recipe. This is where we have a lot of flexibility. It's not about perfection. It's about getting it rolling and then reviewing the data. We made it. Bravo! Let's go! It's so good to spend this time with you and to pour my passion and my heart and my joy with you. So before we depart, yes, of course, there is an invitation into Powerful Habits for the Everyday Woman. We can create a personalized we can create a personalized habits program together. It's a 5-month program. There's one-on-one coaching, there's group and group coaching, community, yada, yada, all that stuff. But you think it, want it, get it. The thinking, then the being, and then the action. And if not now, when? If not now, when? Today is a good day for a good day. Today is a good day to start a new habit. You can go to powerfullink.com/challenge/habits or powerfullink.com work with me, and then habits is one of the programs in there. If you reach out to me post watching this, I will send you a coupon code for a discount because I love you and I care more about your success than the money. Although yes, of course the money's great, but it's really about us connecting to receive these results. So you're amazing. thank you. And I look forward to hearing from you. Please share with me what's come up for you from the video, what you think, what you feel, what's next, and follow along on Facebook and all the places. And I love you so much. You're so amazing. And I can't wait to hear from you. Have a magical day.